Hello and welcome back to another Star Citizen video. Today we're going to take a look at day 9 IAE2954. It is Anvil Aerospace. And of course, before you guys go, I'm just going to give you guys a small little tease. There is something towards the end of the video. If you want to skip, yeah, you can skip towards the end, right? It's a big PSA for people who wants to get some free skins. Now, before we begin, like, subscribe, hit the notification button and help this channel grow, and let's check Anvil Aerospace. And of course, it goes without saying, okay, biggest PSA of all, you do not need to buy any of this shit with real money. All you need is a starter pack. And what's better than a starter pack? A discounted starter pack. And that's it. And of course, we are reaching to, not say towards the end of IAE 2954, but at least halfway plus 1 or 2 days. And you got limited time to play Star Citizen for free. That's right, during IAE 2954, you can play for free. However, that goes without saying. The server is very, very iffy lately. So, yeah, slightly. You know what? That one we can talk a little bit next time, because it's drama with servers, right? It's always the case. Anyway, let's check out Anvil Aerospace. And surprisingly, we have a lot of good stuff today. Yeah. Okay, Anvil closes 2954 manufacturers parade with literal avalanche of new ships. Paladin, yeah, okay, we have lots and lots of ships. So first of all, Terrapin Medic. Now this ship is interesting, that's for sure. We will not take a deep dive for this video, but there will be a separate video just for the Terrapin Medic, that's for sure. Or Medipin. Medipin, I think that's the best. Medipin. Yeah. Okay, next up we have the reintroduction, but finally we get a Mark II version for the Hornet Ghost and the Hornet Tracker. Now this one, I want to tell a little bit of a story, but you know what? I'm gonna reserve this for when the ship comes out as well. I mean, when I get a dedicated video for this ship, right? It is something to talk about. And we got a new ship, the Anvil Paladin, and this guy causes a lot of drama. And yeah, so that's the reason why my video is a little bit late, because I actually did record an earlier version, but something has changed, which changes my perspective of this ship. Yeah, instead of doing a Paladin video, might as well just do it all of them one here for now, okay? And of course, today's Warbond Daily Deal is the Valkyrie. Now, the Valkyrie is my go-to recommendation if you want a dropship. All right, this is a wholesome. Oh, well, I use the word wholesome quite a lot lately, right? Yeah, it is a wholesome dropship. It has everything you need for a dropship. That includes cargo, and you can carry vehicles, namely cyclones. Okay, namely cyclones. But yeah, it's great. All right, it's great. Any dropship that can carry vehicle or literally gets a +1 on my what do you call this? A rap sheet. No, rap sheet sounds wrong. Get the +1 for me. All right. Yeah, rap sheet sounds negative. Reputation, right? But still, it is kind of. Let's start off with the first ship on the list. It is the Anvil Arrow at $75. This is a light fighter. This is also one of my go-to recommendation if you want to pick up a light fighter. And I will create a dedicated video for light fighters as well, because we got a handful now. And of course, the price, all right, this is namely, we're going to go for price to performance, and it's going to be a long-winded discussion as well. So I'm going to put in a different video. So yeah, 75, light fighter, awesome. And vehicles, okay, so we have the Ballista at $140. In my opinion, any vehicles, it's an easy skip. More so vehicles that cost more than $100. That is straight up skipperino. Yeah, if you want to pay 140, get a ship. And in this case, you can get one of the best daily driver twisted. The best daily driver, the C1 Spirit. Yup. Sadly, it's not. The price tag is lower than the Zeus. If not, you can pick up the hottest hotness of the ship. Hottest hot ship. Yeah, nah. All right, C1. C1 Spirit is awesome. Skip vehicles. Next up, we have the C8R Pisces. Now, this is my second recommended, I wouldn't say starter ship, but it is kind of in the starter category. I would say advanced starter ship. And it is, yeah, it is a C8R Pisces. One of the biggest reason, medical bed. It is tier 3 though, so you have to be careful. Everything is subject to change when it comes to what you call this medical gameplay. Previously, they did remove tier 3 for respawn. Now they include back for respawn, and that's the reason why this ship is back on the list. If and when you cannot respawn on a tier 3 medical bed, or whatever medical bed that they offer, it is an easy skip. So with that, one tiny little PSA is do not get attached to ships that you have bought with real money, and that's the reason why I recommend that you get the cheapest package, or at least something that has not been changed for quite some time, namely the Avenger Titan. That's all, right? $65 is slightly a little bit more expensive than the Avenger Titan to boot. So this is a secondary support ship. And if you already got the Titan and then you want to say, hey, you know what? I want a support ship. Yeah, the C8R Pisces is a good candidate. Next up, we have the C8X Pisces Expedition. Sadly, this is technically a starter ship, and truth to be told, at $45, it is pricey. The Mustang Alpha and the Aurora MR kinda outperform this a little bit more. The only thing that the Pisces is good at, the Expedition is good, is there is a cargo bay. That's it. Next up, we have the Anvil Carrack, the legendary Pathfinder, the ship. All right, the fan of this ship that giving me a hard time because I want more expensive ship and I want to replace the Carrack, but I will have to admit, one of the biggest reason right now that I can easily upgrade to other ships is we do not know how the Pathfinder / exploration function on the Carrack. Yep. Is it a specialized radar compared to the rest? Or is it just another beefy radar? That's the question. With that, I'm going to put a pin on that, because once the exploration gameplay is out, then only I can reevaluate some of the ships that I picked, because that will change a lot of perspective for sure. And currently the Carrack is I would say the best overall ship to fly around with a relatively cheaper price tag. Note, $600 is still a lot of money, and usually I would like to build. In fact, I will always build every IAE event. How cheap can you get the Carrack? Because the Carrack literally has all the functions that I need, the bare minimum requirement. Yeah, it has a medical bay, it has a garage, it has a hangar, it is good for multi-crew. Big ships are terrible in solo, so sadly the Carrack does not have pilot control weapons, and at the same time it offers the exploration stuff, exploration suite. Okay, and people love to explore, so that's the reason why. And of course, Carrack is love, Carrack is life. Haha. So that's that for the Carrack. Next up, it is Centurion. It is a ground vehicle, $110, easy skip. Next up, we have the Crucible at $350. Now, this ship is interesting. All right. If I can carry a ship in its repair platform, or on its repair platform, it is kinda a pocket carrier. Kinda, okay. Do note this ship will go up in price. It is still in concept. We don't have a lot of details on this ship at the moment, and I don't want to speculate. So currently, it's just a mobile repair platform. That's it. And if I can repair this ship from almost a destroyed state, or if I can repair this any destroyed state ship, then the Crucible is awesome, which I highly doubt. Okay, it has to be flyable. Yeah, if it's completely destroyed, gone. Next up, we have the F7C Hornet series. In this case, it's a Mark II. Now, this ship, okay, not just this ship, all right? So we have F7C Hornet Mark II, $175. We have two variants, which is the Hornet Tracker and the Hornet Ghost. Now, the F7C Mark II in general. Right, I'm not going to go through some of the variation at the moment because it will have its own video. Plus, there are a few things to talk about. So the F7C started off as a base. The Mark I is just okay-ish in terms of pew pew. And now, because of Mark II, the stats are quite, not exactly close, but quite close to the F7A. Not, I won't say it's not super close, but it elevates a little bit more closer to the F7A, which is nice. That's the reason why the price tag is slightly a little bit more. Right? Original price for the F7C is $110, so $65 extra. Just probably beefed up a little bit of here and there. So that's that. Of course, the F7A still stands supreme. Don't get me wrong, right? If you have an F7A, yeah, you can forget about any of this F7C stuff. Unless you want to get the best of the best, which is the F8 F8C civilian version Lightning at $300. This ship is crazy expensive and requires a badge. Ugh. Okay, before I go through this ship, we want to talk a little bit. So Tracker has better radar. Again, it has a Pathfinder tag over here. Like I said, I do not know how the exploration will work in the game. If it's just a beefier radar, then okay, cool. Yeah, cool. That's it. All right, you can detect stuff in further range. That's it. So in this case, the Tracker is a much better version than the Hornet. Plus, it's only $10 more. So cool. That's cool. Next up, we have the Ghost. Ghost is a stealth fighter. Now the question is the Ghost better in stats versus Aegis Saber? That is the question. So that's the reason why there's a few things to talk about for this two ship. So I'm going to leave it as it is for now. And I would say if the Hornet Ghost performs the same as the Saber, I think it's an easy pick for me, right? For me, because I'm a sucker for the Hornet style of ship. But still, we can talk about this later or another video, because we want to cover a lot of ships today. And we're going to go back to the F8C Lightning. Now, this guy is the best, bar none, fighter ship out there, right? If you want a dedicated combat ship, there you go, F8C Lightning. It's undisputed at the moment. Problem is, it requires an event badge, and it's $300. That's a lot of money. And because of that, and my new requirement, all right, so this is me to control some of my spendings, and I'm gonna give you a little secret. One of the key requirement is I need to get the F8C Lightning with LTI. Unfortunately, I could not get. So instantly, this ship is a no-go for me. Okay, that's one. Like I said, lifetime insurance is not a deal breaker for most of you out there. And I usually like, right, if let's say not a deal breaker, I would like to get this ship cheaper with ship upgrade. Unfortunately, I could not as well, which means I have to pay a sticker price of $300. And that is, yeah, even if I don't mind, I don't have LTI, I can't, I really can't put $300 just like that. Right? If I can get it like 280, sure. 260 was the Warborn price tag. Even 260 was like, oh, that's the reason why I didn't get it. Yeah. And with that, I think, yeah, F8C Lightning is one of those ships that is good, but I had to let it go because of my self-imposed requirement. That's all. Alright, still a great ship. Best combat ship. Next up, we have the Gladiator. The Gladiator is a combat bomber hybrid. Now, this ship is... Okay, you know what? Out of every single Anvil ship on the line, Gladiator is the one that requires the most rework at the moment, because it is neither here nor there, and it's painful. Because is it a ground bomber, or is it just a ship with bigger missiles? That's a very good question though. I don't have an answer. $165 is, I think it's okay-ish for now. Yeah, we don't really have great pilot control weapons. This one requires a second pilot. It's a 2-pilot ship, and the main pilot controls the bomb, obviously. Right? Co-pilot gets the turret, and then I think no, the Gladiator really needs a rework. It needs to establish itself. What type of bomber is it? Is it a ground bomber or is it a torpedo ship? Yeah, because on stat wise, it is a size 5 missile, and yeah, if it's a size 5 missiles, great, but it doesn't carry a lot, so yeah, again, weird. Weird place. Gladiator really needs a Mark II, or at least, even though it's not a Mark II, at least please give a rework. I really want to see a rework because the Gladiator is a nice ship. It's a very unique shape though, compared to all the Anvil lines. Next up, we have the Hawk. Now, Hawk, even though it says a light fighter here, this guy is technically a bounty hunting ship. Technically, because there's a prison port at the back here. It is, all right, so it has a light fighter because of its weapons. Its weapons are very light. Air quotes. No, it is light. It's a lot of size 1. The problem with Hawk is that the weaponry is too small. There is a lot of weapons, yeah, hard points, but it is too small, so a bit painful. But what it mixed up with smaller weapons, it has an EMP, so there we go. And any ship with EMP, can I say it as an interdiction ship? So yeah, they really need to establish some of this tags. It's getting out of hand already. Yeah. So Hawk at $100, bounty hunting ship, sure, cool, better alternative for sure, but it is a nice ship in the verse, right? And that goes without saying, if you've enjoyed flying certain ship in the verse, yeah, feel free to get it. And of course, if you want to spend with real money, this is where I usually chime in. Like, is it really worth your money? That's the question. Not all ships are created equal when in terms of cash, but when in terms of in-game currency, yeah, sure, go crazy. One of them is the Anvil Hurricane, $210. This is the cheapest glass cannon ship that can rival with Scorpius. In fact, the Scorpius is the answer to the Hurricane. Yes, in terms of DPS, the Hurricane is much better because it has size 4 hardpoint for the main pilot. And of course, it has a turret, which is the same as the Scorpius, right? So in terms of DPS department, the Hurricane outperformed just a little bit more because of the size of the weapon. Yeah. Sustain wise, I think Scorpius might be able to pull it off because of the smaller weapons, which means if you put bigger what do you call this, power plant, you probably can do a sustained laser fire, but the Hurricane probably, no, not probably, because of bigger weapons, the Hurricane can deal a little bit more per hit. That's how I put it. Yeah, put some scatter gun on it, it's like, oof, shotgun Hurricane. Yeah, at 210, it's cheaper than the Scorpius. Next up, we have the Legionnaire. Now, the Legionnaire is a boarding ship. It is still in concept, $120. This is an easy skip, in my opinion. It's a utility ship, and it's a combat utility to boot. So very niche. Next up, we have the Liberator. Now, the Liberator is the proper, tried and true light carrier or pocket carrier. And I love the Liberator for what it can handle, right? It looks like a hovercraft. It is combat capable. I mean, it is combat ready. It has, I think, three landing platforms. 1, 2, 3 at the top, and then you have space for some vehicles. So yeah, $575, not bad of a price tag compared to the alternatives. That's how I put it. Still a lot of money. Again, anything above $100 is usually a lot for your average players out there. That's why just buy it in game, okay? But still, Liberator is one of those. I wouldn't say it's really on my watch list, but it's like from time to time I would just take a peek on the Liberator, because the Liberator can carry all the toys that you want if you don't want to use for combat. So that's great. Yeah, but yeah, 575. Ugh. Next up, we have the new kid on the block, which is the Paladin at $300. Now, this ship has a little bit of controversy and drama earlier on because of one key sentence, okay? And because CIG has amended it, or at least clarified some of the one specific line, now the Paladin is one ship that I would love to have. Previously I did say no go, right? Now I say I want. Okay, we will talk a little about Paladin once we go through some of the lists, so hang in there. Next up, we have the Anvil Spartan, $80. Okay, now this vehicle is kind of decent, kind of nice. It is long. Yep, not all, it cannot fit to a lot of ships, sadly. Right? One of the ships that I think can comfortably park us. I mean, a Spartan can carry a Spartan. Ugh. Liberator, obviously, and the C2 Hercules. Yep. Other than that, I think it's a not really a tough vehicle to recommend, but because of its size, yeah, Skipperino. Skipperino in general. Yeah, $80. Not bad. Not bad, just pricey. Next up, we have the Anvil Terrapin. Now, the Terrapin is the ultimate scout. See, we have a lot of scout, expedition, pathfinding, exploration. Now, before I can say any of this thing right now, again, big disclaimer. Until we get a proper exploration gameplay loop, all this shit with expedition, exploration, pathfinding is subject to change, right? My opinions and comments also are subject to change depending on the gameplay. Because if we look at Terrapin as a whole, at its current gameplay, $220, this ship is technically useless. Yeah, it is useless because its weapons are rubbish for its size. The only thing good is the hull, the armor. It has a blast window, which is nice. Other than that, cargo, relatively nothing. That's it. That's the problem with the Terrapin. Without the game exploration gameplay, it is a over-bloated ship. But if it's a proper exploration ship, right? When we get a proper exploration gameplay, the Terrapin could rule supreme, right? Definitely a cheaper option compared to the Carrack, and that's the reason why Carrack right now is on a... It's very gameplay dependent, truth to be told. So that's the disclaimer I want to put it out, right? $220, it could be the best pick for an exploration ship, or it could be just a overpriced armored ship. So until then, this is going to be a pin for now. Next up, if you don't want exploration, you get the Terrapin Medic. Okay, so now this ship has a little bit more purpose in the game. With its stronger armor, it can jump in and out of combat relatively ease, right? Provided you don't get targeted hard. Of course, any ship gets targeted as a primary, yeah, you'll be gone. You be gone. Yeah, I was trying to find a nice word for it, right? But if it's just a scratch here and there, the Terrapin Medic definitely will survive, right? It needs a lot of firepower to down a Terrapin. More than usual, or rather more than you expect. Plus, the Terrapin has only one purpose, in and out. That's it. Yeah, so in this case, normally what you do is you dip into combat, deploy your landing gear, bring in as much people as possible, sustain a little fire, and then you dipped out. That's it. So in this case, is it worth $220? The answer is not so sure yet. Okay? It offers tier 2 medical bait. So this is the only small ship that offers a tier 2 medical bait. For now. Okay, I clicked in because I want to see one crucial thing. They didn't write the package. Boo. Because I want to see the stout weapon package. It is heavy armored. It is tier 2, right? The closest ship for its size right now is Cutlass Raid. Cutlass Raid is tier 3, if I'm not mistaken. But it has 2 baits. So that's that for the Terrapin Medic, all right? And we're going to take also a deeper dive for the Terrapin Medic as well. But in general, just, yeah, Wambulance. Next up, we have the Valkyrie. So this is my go-to recommendation for dropship because it can carry vehicles and that's it, right? It has everything you want for a dropship plus cargo and vehicles. So fantastic. So with that, that's the end for the Anvil line, right? But before I go through the Paladin, right, just little quick confirmation. since we are still here, right? Anvil Aerospace, Drake Interplanetary, because we want to cross-check with one of the key ship, which is the colors red. Because I did say it's a tier 3 medical bed. That was the original stuff. Yeah, tier 3 medical bed. Okay, cool. That's it. That's it. So the closest competitor to the Terrapin Medic is the what do you call this? The RSI Apollo. Yeah. So with that, we're gonna take a quick little look at Anvil Paladin because it causes a huge drama. And let's go. Okay. Cool. We're gonna skip arena, skip. Alright, heavyweight turret, forming the main turret, factor equipped with size 5 bearing laser weapon. Nice. And that's that. Relentless support fire, 2 dual remote turrets, safeguard paladin flanks, prevent offensive loadout completely with 6 missile racks. Okay, united up. Each turret, so this is the one. This is the most important line that it was, I won't say mistranslated, but it wasn't properly informed. Now they change it. Each turret hardpoint can be manned by a dedicated crew member. So first line say, oh no. What is crew member? Does it include pilot? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, that means we should have pilot control weapons. And now they add that line because initially I thought it's no. When operating with a smaller crew, the pilot can take direct control of the wing turrets with an S, ensuring no defensive position is left unmanned. And that is great. That is great. Yeah, previously I did say if this ship doesn't have pilot control weapons, it's a no-go. In fact, actually, I'm going to put that new rule to myself. If a ship does not have pilot control weapons, which means pew, I don't care about missiles, right? Pew, then it's an easy ship in general that you can skip. Or rather, I would skip in general. Only a handful of ships that does not need pilot control weapons, and most of them would be a utility ship like the Polaris. Whew. The Carrack has missiles no, Carrack doesn't have. Yeah, missiles does not count. I'm not going to count missiles because Hammerhead, same thing as well. You got pilot control missiles, doesn't count. So there we go. And of course, I was looking at here, 1 pilot, 3 gunners, 1 remote turret, 2 size 4 remote dual turrets. Now, if the pilot, according to the description, we are controlling 2 size 4 remote dual turrets, which means this ship has the same DPS capabilities with the Star Lancer pilot control weapons. Okay, we're not going to count the top turret and all those fancy stuff, right? Pilot control weapons, same DPS output as the Star Lancer. And sadly, the Paladin is slightly more expensive than the Star Lancer. But then again, it looks good. It looks good. I want one, okay? I want one. So that's the drama. And of course, the second drama is that the Redeemer received a huge nerf in terms of pilot control weapons. And apparently, the Paladin has all the weapons that a Redeemer used to have, right? Which is the most important size 5, quad size 5 remote turret. That's a lot of firepower for your teammates. Yep. So there you go, the Paladin. We can talk a little bit more about these guys, but it's gonna have its own dedicated video for sure. So that's that. If not, this video is gonna be too long. In fact, the video is long enough. And for those who managed to stick around until this last part, or if you skip, that's okay, right? Because there is a big PSA, and the number 1 PSA is Ship Showdown Best in Show skin. This would be the last PSA before tomorrow, where Best in Show will go live. And what you want to do is you want to collect all this for ships in your hangar if you can, if you want to enjoy free skins. Now, the reason why I say this is that if Best in Show still follows the same format, which means as long you have the ship in your hangar, you will get a separate BIS skin. that is crucial for people who don't want to keep the ship. Like me, I probably will not keep the no, reclaimer. I might keep, but much later. Terrapin depending, C1 also depending, F8C lightning I had to drop, so there goes my skin. plus C8 lightning is number one. Ugh. That is one of the biggest reason why during the ship showdown I did not want the F8C lightning to win, because it is gonna be kinda paywall lock. Yeah, because every first place ship showdown will get one more extra flare. The question is what type of flare, and because it's paywall lock, yikes, not accessible by lots of people, which is tough. Plus the price tag is crazy, $300 sticker price. So that's that, right? And there you go. Do note also, if you don't get any of this ship in your hangar before best in show, that's okay, because you can upgrade to the best in show ships. That's right, there's two ways to obtain. The only difference is that if you were to melt, which means you exchange your ship for store credit, if the skin is packaged together with the ship of your choice that you have upgrade to, you will lose the skin. That's the important caveat. Whereby if you get this ship in the hangar before the best in show drop, once the skin is dropped, you can safely melt the ship and you still retain the best in show skin. So free skins. So that's that for the video. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 6 year. Okay, I wonder what do we get for this. But still, I'm not looking forward to, because I could not obtain it. Painful. Well, that's all I have for you for today. And of course, that goes without saying. The finale, I mean, we are done with all the brands in Star Citizen. I will have a annual shipbuilding during the finale, because I need all the Warbond deals to come back. And during the finale, most of the deals, actually, I don't think they will come back, depending. Because during the last year finale, the daily deals kind of change for the finale. They call it a finale deal or something like that, right? Which is different. Luckily, not much ship that I want to upgrade requires the daily deal. One of the key ship probably is the Freelancer Misk, because it's just good. Yeah. And a second one would be the 400i if you want to upgrade to more expensive ship. But you know what? We'll talk about bigger ships in a different video, because it's the end for Anvil Aerospace. Right? So during the finale, again, I'll just do a quick repeat. I will build the Carrack for cheap. And of course, I'm going to add on one more ship, which is the Polaris. Can you get the Polaris for relatively cheap price this year? All right. And with that, I would say don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and help this channel grow. Until then, I will see you guys in the next Star Citizen video. I will see you in the verse, and fly safe. Yep. Also, Carrack is love, Carrack is life.